Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. So much to read on today, from Bernie Sanders through to what I think is the most deeply disturbing news that is coming out today, and that's around Trump, Flynn and Barrack wanting to, which is one of Trump's friends who was involved in his inauguration committee, wanting to provide Saudi Arabia with American nuclear technology. Man, that blows me. That literally blows me away. I'm just gobsmacked by that. So I want to look at who would have benefited, who stood to benefit from that. Is this a bit more of quid pro quo between Kushner and the Saudis, Trump and the Saudis? Unbelievable. These things, I think, would normally get any president impeached, but of course we have to wait for the wheels of the investigation to turn. You can understand why the judge remarked that Flynn was quite treasonous, because they could have had knowledge of all of this, and I think that's where Mueller might be going here. I think he's uncovering more than we actually think, because I think that was the basis of the judge who's overseeing the Mueller inquiry, or was involved in the sentencing with Flynn, and told him to go back and cooperate more with Mueller. Unbelievable. And see, this is why this whole thing affects the rest of the world. Because if we had nuclear war in the Middle East, it wouldn't stop. So I think, yeah. But let's start with Bernie. And then I want to move on to cyber warfare as well, because we've been attacked in Australia. I don't mean to alarm you viewers, but I think this is we're getting to the bottom of why the last 2 years have been so serious, and why you have people like me reading tarot on Donald Trump. So let's have a look. Bernie Sanders. Let's go to Bernie Sanders first. What do we need to know about Bernie? Will he be successful? Does he have, will he, at the end of the day, have the support of the Democrats? Will he have the support of the people? What do we need to know about Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders 2020. Bernie Sanders 2020. Okay, so, here we've got really the signifier card. This is what happened to him in 2016. He was, this is the Five of Pentacles, the card that equates to being left out in the cold, as we say. This is the exclusion, which actually really, I think, impacted on him. And I think I'm feeling with him that this is why he's standing again. Now, when I tune into photos of Bernie, what I see is an aging person. And I'm not sure that at his age, this would be a huge thing, particularly the cleanup that's going to come after Trump. This would be a huge thing to take on. But he's decided that that's what he's going to do, and I think in part it is somehow motivated in a way by what he's experienced in the past. Also, what is hidden from us are new starts. We've got the Ace of Cups here. Now, I asked, would he be successful? I think what is hidden here is people want new starts. Do they necessarily want to go back to 2015 conditions? I don't know. What is challenging him is America wanting to return to a more stable era. Do they think that Bernie will bring the stability that's required? I don't know. The focus of this reading is the Empress. Now, this can be read two ways. It is my Mother Russia card, indicating that Russia is all over this reading. Now, I'm not saying Bernie's involved with Russia. What I'm saying is that there are indications people want this mess cleaned up. And will they think that Bernie is the one to do it? I don't know. The other aspect of this card is abundance. So I think, tuning into Bernie's energy, he's proposing equality, I guess social justice and policies that create equality for all. So what have we got in the past? Yeah. We've got Bernie's loss here. Okay, this is the Eight of Cups. This is the card of loss. So this is someone that is really turning their back in a way. I do feel that 2016 obviously rightly impacted so heavily on Bernie Sanders and also his followers. In some ways, it was responsible for some of the electorate turning their back and not going out to vote. There were many other reasons, but that was certainly one of them. Now we've got what's hanging over this is the almost in a way a little bit of justice. It's like in 2016, there are many people that would say he was robbed. It's certainly an issue for him. He was this is what's really directly in one way motivated him to stand, and this is the sort of truth coming forward. So there is almost like a justice element to his candidature. The Five of Swords is indicating that he might not be successful. This is the card of really, it's a card of bullying. It's a card of abusive relationships. I'm not sure how much his candidature is supported at the Democratic level. The King of Wands, this is Bernie Sanders himself. He is a leader. I mean, regardless of who you support in the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders in 2016 was able to mobilise the electorate, and he was able to do a little bit more than that. He was able to engender passion, and he was able to inspire, and this is what this is. This is the king of inspiration. But there's strength also to Bernie Sanders, so he shouldn't be underestimated. The environment around him, it's a huge field, isn't it? And we've got a lot of female candidates. We've got a lot of people that want new, fresh energy coming in, and we've got a lot of people that are more concerned about cleaning the mess up after Trump, winning 2020, not denying Trump a second term, denying the Republicans a second term, and so the candidature for 2020 is going to be keenly contested. There's going to be multiple pressures coming to bear, but I think the main one, as I'm seeing in this reading, I'm feeling in this reading, is that voters will want, or the Democratic Party and its membership will want, somebody who has the best chance of winning to clean up after Trump, to stop a second go from Trump. There's a lot of passion here involved, and I think it's going to be a little bit of the environment around it's going to be quite heavy work for Bernie. Now the hopes and the fears, and of course this is where the idealism that really fuels the support for Bernie Sanders comes in. People are hoping for the truth, but there are also sections that fear it. Some of his policies are directly challenging to people, and we saw that in 2016, and challenging to the big moneyed end of town as well. We've got balance as the final outcome. I think people are looking to balance to achieve balance. I think that he's going to gain quite significant support for a run in 2020, but will that be enough? Again, I see the heavy overload of the Queen of Wands. Just to clarify, I see the heavy overload here of wanting to clean up the mess after Trump, to put the person that has the best chance of winning. And the Queen of Wands is coming forward as really, it is the divine feminine. So they're wanting a female presence there. I'm not saying they want a female president, although they could well do that. But this is the firmness and the I guess the peril that the US and the world is in at the moment, and I think I'm feeling that again. I'm feeling that coming through this reading with Bernie. They're also wanting someone really to maximise the chance of winning. Is Bernie that is that, or does he enjoy the wider support of the Democrats? Will he appeal to some of those disenchanted Republican voters? These are all questions for his candidature. So will he be successful or not? Then the cards aren't giving me a definitive answer. They're saying that he certainly has the ability to lead and inspire. The social justice is showing up in this reading as well. The fact that he could bring balance back into politics. But in the immediate future, I'm getting the Five of Swords. So I mean, this could even represent Trump having a real good go at Bernie. It's like that abusive. He may find resistance within his own party, very much being motivated in a way by a karmic justice element here. We've got the exclusion of 2016 and the loss that he felt. I don't know how he. I saw that clip and I saw him in a dignified way walk away. I don't know how he did that. That was a pivotal moment. So there's a lot here. There's a redress aspect of this candidature for Bernie in 2020. So let's go to the Saudis. My God, let's give it a good shuffle. I don't really entertain. I guess I should probably say, viewers who comment on my shuffling, I remove your comments. I'm not really interested in what you think about whether I shuffle too much or too little. A nice thank you for the reading is what I'm looking for. Not from everybody. I don't want to be thanked all the time. But when someone comes up with a comment, you do too much shuffling, which is their only comment on the video, then I think that's really discourteous. So, or you don't shuffle enough. So I'm not going to entertain those sort of comments. That's just a waste of our time. All right, so let's move forward. Having said that, got that burr from underneath my saddle, as they say. Let's move forward to, I think, the really worrying news coming out of DC at the moment, and that is that Michael Flynn and Tom Barrack pushed ahead with a plan to give American nuclear technology to Saudi Arabia. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, the question is why? Is this more quid pro quo? And that's what I want to ask. Let's have a look at why that plan came forward in the first place. I wouldn't surprise me if it comes out that there's money here. There was money changing hands, or in some way this is quid pro quo. My goodness me. Okay, so wow. I was floored when I read that. So let's have a look. Okay. Was there money? No. Okay. What do we need to know about the nuclear technology that was promised to the Saudi Arabias by Flynn and Barrack in 2017? Did Trump know? Did Kushner know? What do we need to know? Was there quid pro quo involved? Was there some kind of money changing hands, money promised in the past or the future or the present? What do we need to know about the plan to provide? Trump obviously Trump sanctioned that. Trump, Kushner, Flynn, Barrack, because Barrack is one of Trump's friends. He but he was involved in the transition team into the White House. Okay, what do we need to know about that? What do we need to know about promising the plan to provide American nuclear technology to Saudi Arabia? If the GOP don't have any... Oh, good God. Okay. If the GOP don't have anything to say about this, then really they're finished. They really are. I'm quite angry because at nuclear war, nuclear missiles, nuclear arms race all impacts on us. No matter where you are in the world, it will impact. The devil. Okay, greed and avarice. There was some sort of element of being chained here to the devil, which means that there was a pact made at some point in the past. What was challenging it was that it did not have the broader support. So someone at the time, probably someone in the GOP, really rissoled it, I was going to say, that they stood up against it in some way. At the GOP level, it was not supported, and of course the plan became isolated. The fact that it didn't go through, it needed to go through Congress. The partnerships, okay, who was that between? Trump and Saudi Arabia, Kushner and Saudi Arabia. Of course, we had the Saudis bailing Kushner out over his massive building in Manhattan, I think it is. And of course, we've had Saudis funneling money through to Trump in multiple ways, including through his hotels. So we've got this clear relationships coming through already, and that in a way at the time it didn't enjoy broader support. I wonder how much the GOP knew and when. In the past, we've got the deals that were done. Potentially, this is someone looking toward a far-off horizon with the world in their hands. This is commerce. This is the financial deals that have been done between the Trump organisation and Kushner's business and the Saudi Arabias, but also Michael Flynn. Don't forget Michael Flynn. So there was, I think he wanted to build these nuclear facilities in the Middle East. And he was also a lobbyist at the time, so financially benefiting from all these deals. Oh my God, this is who you elected. Okay, so we've got painful endings. This is going to be rock bottom and painful endings. This is going to take someone down. Watch this space, viewers, because this is going to grow in momentum. Who might it likely take down? Obviously Trump and Kushner. Now we've got in the immediate future, we've got new starts here, new proposals, new starts. I think that you might see Congress coming together on this. I actually think this is a huge issue here. What are they going to do? It will be interesting. Now we've got circles of support. Again, I think that both sides of politics might come together on this one. We've also got Elijah Cummings' committee and Adam Schiff's committee now investigating the ties, the potential financial ties between the Trump government and overseas interests, including Saudi Arabia. And don't forget, we have the Khashoggi murder mixed in with all of that. The environments around, there's multiple investigations. This is going to really set things off, I think. That was my feeling this morning on this. The hopes and the fears, the Five of Cups. This is loss, isolation, poverty. This is whoever was involved in that, Barrack, Flynn, potentially Kushner and Trump. This is really going to... I guess the fear here, they're fearing loss of what? That it will be exposed in some way, that it will affect the bottom line for them, which is their businesses and their money. This could also be the way Flynn might be feeling as well, because he was involved fairly centrally in all of this. Now, the outcome here, we've got stability and healing and nurturing. So when we say the tide has turned, I think really what we see is how dangerous 2017 and the early part or the first part of 2018 was up until the midterms. What we see is what if we knew what we didn't know, we would have been quite. I think it was a perilous time. It is a perilous time until Trump is taken out of office. All these things are now coming to light as a result of the midterm elections, and I should say in that we had Republicans voting for Democratic candidates. Let's not forget that. Not all Republicans, but it was the start of some kind of broader acknowledgement that Trump had to go, that there need to be accountability, and rightly so. Look at the cards. Oh dear, just clarifying, the nurturing, the healing. It is the end of something. Okay, the death of the Trump regime. If we look at, when I say rightly so, it was perilous in 2017 and the first part of 2018. Look at these cards here. This is what I remember when I first started reading I looked at the nexus, the changing in alliances, and the fact that there was Kushner and Trump brought this business approach into the presidency and the White House. Look at these cards back in. I mean, this is the situation in 2017. Deals done with the devil, chained to some kind of needing to, I guess, do business. I mean, we could have had this quid pro quo. The relationships between Trump, Kushner, the Trump government, and people like the Saudis and Russia. We've got this overseas commerce and expansion, these business deals here. We've got potentially at some level, I'm not sure how cluey Kushner and Trump were about how politics operates. I don't know if they'd read the Constitution. Did they know the limits of their powers in 2016, 2017? I don't think they did. They came in as renegades, upending the conventions and the norms. And it's only now that the law is catching up, okay? These investigations are catching up. And really, I think I read the other day on the nature of power. I think it's, we need to have a look at why it wasn't until the midterms, despite all of these potentially allegedly corrupt intentions, why it wasn't until the midterms when Trump's power was taken away that all these things happened. So should we be finger pointing and blaming the GOP right now? I guess so. But at some level, back in 2016-17, around the transition time when this was first mooted, early 2017, it did not enjoy the support. So I would assume that some of the GOP pulled back at that time. They may have been willing to say no, Congress wouldn't pass this, it would be a disaster, but they certainly enabled Trump throughout 2017. So, yes, but look, this is the card here. We've got the ending and the nurturing and the more stable energy coming through. So I wouldn't say that we're over the worst, because with Trump you never know. But the fact that these things are now coming to light is really contributing to the downfall of Trump and those around him as well. Now, what's hidden from view is the anxiety. I think that those that were involved are now facing. They caused anxiety to others. It's time now for them to experience some themselves. Okay, now I want to go to, this is a bit of a long reading, but I do want to go to cyber warfare. Now, Australia, for those of you who don't know, Australia, the Australian Parliament was attacked, the parliamentary computer system. There was a hacking attempt, and we also had the hacking or attempted hacking of our major parties, their computers. So not dissimilar to the 2016 hacking of the DNC, and I think the RNC computer systems were hacked as well. Now, in Australia, where the investigations at the moment are pointing to, well, they say the only people that had the capability to attack those computer systems was either China, Russia, Israel. Funnily enough, we'll do a reading on Israel, on Netanyahu in the coming weeks, because I want to read on more controversial leaders as well as the more benignly perceived leaders, and the US. Well, we know it wasn't the US. Possibly we know it wasn't Israel. So that leaves China or Russia. Now, in the broader scheme of things, we've had one of our Australian Defence Force experts say that our ability, indeed the ability of other countries, I guess as well, because we're pretty sophisticated in our defence, is our ability to prevent a cyber attack is not foolproof. Okay, so we don't need to put troops on the ground anymore. In a way, we've got this sophisticated cyber, cyber environment. Now, if you think about it, I know that Vladimir Putin is working on something that might really take down the internet, I think was what I read. But we've also got the potential to hack into electricity grids. We've got that whole financial sector. So I guess cyber warfare is really I think one of the most pressing threats really at the moment. The current present day threat would be cyber warfare. So let's have a look at who might have hacked into the Australian systems. All right, let's have a look. Who did hack? Well, we'll ask. Was it either Russia or China? Russia or China that hacked into our systems? Russia or China hacking into the Australian systems? Okay, so we've got loss. Straight away, we've actually taken steps to lock out China from developing our 5G technology. So straight away, that card of loss, it might have been China. Okay, we've also got the card of illusion and delusion here. This is just not just. These are malevolent state actors. Okay, this is the kind of. I mean, China comes into Australia as a lot of investment in Australia, and it's that they go to great pains to say that their companies are not government, are not at the beholden to the Chinese government. I think this might be China here. And we've got the money news. Was this payback for locking China out of our 5G network? I think it might have been. The Ten of Pentacles. Okay, we've got an election coming up in May 2019. The leader of the coalition is looking a lot like Donald Trump. And then we've got the ALP, our Australian Labor Party, which is equivalent to your Democrats. I think there is an element here that is connected with the election. Now we've got moving on and transitioning away to better times. I think that the Australians will actually be able to isolate where this attack has come from and take the steps needed so that it won't happen again. Our defence force in Australia is not dissimilar to your military, and also Pentagon. That we've had many years developing our defence capabilities. And really, this is just highlighting the abusive nature of this hack. Okay, it was ill-intended. It was designed to cause damage. There isn't a connection to the election here. Okay, I'm thinking this was China in this instance, and there's an element of payback here. All right, now more broadly speaking, let's have a look at Russia and cyber warfare against not just the US but other countries as well. It's a very present day threat, I think. Not just to the US but really a global threat, cyber warfare. Okay, let's have a look at Russia and cyber warfare. Russia and cyber warfare. What do we need to know that? Are they going to attack the US in any way? Are they going to take out electricity grids, interfere with voting machines? Well, that's a separate question on its own for 2020. I'll do a broader reading on that. But let's just look at Russia and cyber warfare. Are they developing cyber weapons? Cyber weapons that are capable. We know that they are. So we'll say, is Russia developing cyber weapons that's capable of harming the US, and will they launch an attack into the future? Russia, cyber warfare, US attacks. Russia, cyber warfare, US attacks. Yeah, okay. Well, he's not twiddling his thumbs over there. Okay, so here we go. It's all connected with this commerce and expansion and weakening other countries. This aggression that Putin's on. He's a very aggressive man, consumed by trying to, I guess, raise Russia globally. Remove those sanctions, allow Russia to become richer. And this is what it's all about. If you destabilise another's economy, which is what they did, bringing in support for the Trump government, then Russia will benefit. What is challenging? Okay, we've got the King of Swords here, and this is, I guess, the power of our defence systems. It's also the sword of truth here, and this is Mueller. So in some way, the Mueller investigation is actually directly threatening Putin's ability to be aggressive across the global stage. I will do another reading on Putin. I'm just going to tune into his energy, and I'm going to look at the reasons why his global aggression is unprecedented at the moment. And so in some way, the Mueller investigation, what is going on in America, is really going to limit his ability to do things in the future. What has he been doing? Yep. He's one step ahead all the time. He's been behind the scenes. He's been working hard on this cyber warfare. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is honing one's craft. In this deck, there's a particular darkened landscape. He's been doing this while we've almost been asleep at the wheel. Now, in the past, we've got the anxiety, and what I'm thinking here is, it's almost like there's always a chip on Putin's shoulder because of what has occurred in the past, beyond just sanctions, but also around how Russia might have been treated really from World War II onwards. This is sort of, yes, it's about Russian commercial expansion and destabilizing economies, but there's also an element of payback here as well. Now, the Mueller investigation, I do feel that Trump and Putin's fates are linked. And the more that we expose this, now we've got Australia looking into cyber warfare because they've been attacked. We've got the US now, post-Trump, hopefully, putting some effort into stopping cyber warfare. We've got the EU taking this very seriously. The more we learn about Putin's aggression, the more that he will be outed, if you like, and potentially actions taken against him. Now, in Russia, of course, economically, the average person in the street is not doing so well. So you've got the oligarchs who are benefiting and the average person not so much. Is this foretelling the end of Putin's reign? I hope so. I really hope so. Okay, so yeah, we've got action being taken against Putin. There could be more. It's beyond just sanctions here. I think might be something quite serious. That there's some kind of retribution coming, I think, against Putin in the future. And of course, we've got the Mother Russia card and Putin's intentions around abundance and creating that abundance for his Mother Russia. Cyber warfare. The environment around. We've got restriction here. Okay, we've got restriction. I think this is talking about Putin being cornered in a way, so he could be feeling that he's being cornered by what is going on in the US, and potentially EU starting to act against him. There's now talk that the EU will up the ante on their intermediate range missiles as a result of America pulling out of the International Missile Treaty, the INF. Europe is now starting to think about arming themselves. So this is all dangerous, yes, but in some way, it's also putting restrictions on Putin as well. And as different countries develop their own cyber warfare, it is perilous. But I do feel that what's happening in the US is critical to really to the future stability globally. Now, we've got hopes and fears. People are hoping that we go back to a less perilous time where the global structures were supported. If you look, I think I read an article the other day, the US has pulled out of so many things, so many things. There is a need to return to past stability, to more peaceful times. So that is the hope here. And the fear, of course, is that peace will not, that we will lose our stability and our peace across the globe. I've got things happening quite quickly here, which is a little bit of a worry card for me. It's also that I guess investigations will be ongoing as to who has hacked whom, who has the technology to really interfere in our internet and our systems, our online systems, but they also can foreshadow more attacks. So I'm just going to have a look at a yes/no question here. What's hidden from our view on the bottom of the pack is the High Priestess, which means that something is being planned. Potentially things are in the background here. So I want to take this to another level and look at is something actually being planned by Putin. So let's give it a good shuffle. Right. All right, so is something being planned by Putin? Is a cyber attack being planned by Putin? Is a cyber attack being planned by Putin? Oops. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, okay. Luck changing. It's interesting. We'll leave and see what that balance. Okay. So things are changing. This is my feeling at the beginning of this reading. Things are changing in relation to Putin's power. But we've also got some kind of proposal here coming forward. This is the Page of Cups. So there could be some kind of plan there. We've got new starts. This is mirroring the Wheel of Fortune. This could be actually Putin's intention is to create some kind of new start for Russia. And we've got the manipulation card in the Two of Pentacles. This is can have quite a negative, what would I call it? There is a negative energy about this card in these sort of readings. Okay, so there's the manipulation to disrupt the balance. Change the Wheel of Fortune in Russia's favour. Take some kind of inspired action on the plan. Okay, let's keep going. It's all about the money here. Achieving more financial stability, perhaps, for Russia. We've got the Hangman suspending things, okay, stopping what? Stopping online systems from working. Trying to tie people up, tie systems up. We've got strength here, a lot of major arcanas here. I think that just shows the strength of cyber warfare. And we've got the coming together in some kind of teamwork plan. Manipulation. There could be more than Russia involved here. Could be China as well. And the Magician, trying to actualize their plan. But in some way they're being restricted. Okay, so there is a plan here. That's what I'm seeing, and for all the obvious reasons that have come through the card. But there is some kind of restriction here. In some way, it's like it's not the right time to do it right now because straight away the attention would be put on us. Um, these are bold, brazen acts of aggression, acts of war. Let's call them that. Call them for what they are. They are acts of war, and the Western democracies are gaining in strength as Trump declines. Trump's power declines. The Western democracies are lifted, and we saw that in Munich. What a different conference the Munich conference was just recently, as compared to Trump's first NATO meeting. And if you wonder whether Trump is losing his power, you just compare those two events. So we've really got this growing power of the world here. We've got endings and beginnings. So what is happening in America, as I always say, as I keep saying in all my readings, is absolutely critical to the future of the world. That's why we're here. That's why we're reading. So look, that's a long reading for you today. It's 40 minutes covering Bernie Sanders, the Saudi Arabia, and the cyber warfare, including the attack in Australia. You know, I'm seeing all it coming down and linked to one central theme here, and that is the removal of Donald Trump from office. Okay, I'll leave that there, and I'll be back again to read in the future for you again. Thank you for your support, everybody. Thank you for your wonderful comments, and everything else you do to keep this channel alive. Thank you so much.